Dave Knows Wrestling. Ooh, Dave Knows Comics live stream. Ah, see? Always slipping. Always slipping. Dave Knows Comics live stream. Ah, there you go. Dave Knows Comics live stream, where today it's all about the WandaVision. Just saw it, well, not just saw it, saw it Friday, but thought I'd give everyone a chance to catch up and watch in case they haven't. Only half-hour episodes, which is a surprise. It was actually easier and more digestible than I thought. If I'm not mistaken, I think only 9 episodes for this first season, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so obviously enough spoiler warnings for episodes 1 and 2 in case you are not looking to get the show spoiled for you. I would suggest you not be here, but I think you could probably figure that out. So this is going to be a spoilerific episode. But before we get into it, let's take a time out to say hello to everybody in the chat. King Super, why hello. Harry Flynn, hey yo. Ben Espinoza, what is up? First time on this channel. Hey, I didn't realize it was your first time here, King Super. Welcome. Timothy Mendoza, what up? Z Infinity, hello, hello. Alright, so thank you for being here. Thank you for your time, and hopefully you guys are ready to talk about the WandaVision. Let's give people a moment to come on in. Z Infinity's first time here, too. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so let's give people just a minute before we start diving into the details about the WandaVision. And if you are not watching this live, you are watching this later on, well, awesome. Thank you for being here, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments on episodes 1 and 2. And again, spoilers are abound. So Harry Flynn says, once we talk about spoilers, we'll type spoiler alert in chat. Well, thank you, Harry. That's very nice of you. Ben Espinoza says, is that even a word, spoilerific? It is now, because we decided it's going to be in the Know-It-All Nation. So yeah, spoilerific. Okay, so I'm just going to give a couple more seconds just so everyone can file in and be a part of the program, letting us know what their thoughts are on the WandaVision. Episodes 1 and 2 had just come out on Disney+. Why, hello, King Kaito. Alrighty, righty. Oh, and a like right away. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into it. Spoilers are ready to be deployed. So, Harry Flynn, if you would, let everybody know about the spoiler warnings in the chat. Very much appreciated from my main man. WandaVision. That's a different show. Maybe that's the sequel show, but yeah. But yes, spoilers are abound, so let them know, because we're going to get into the big dive. And thank you for the likes. Thank you. Much appreciated, much appreciated. Alright, so it should be in the Know-It-All Nation Encyclopedia. Yeah, it should be now, shouldn't it? Spoiler talk alert. There you go. Thank you so much, Harry. Alright, so let's just go over with the grand details of it. So before we give my opinion, I'll just do a quick recap. Episodes 1 and 2 launched for Disney Plus of WandaVision, a show that is featuring Scarlet Witch and Vision. And it starts off with them being inside of a sitcom, an obvious sitcom. Now, you know something's afoot, but they don't give any black and white sitcom. It's very reminiscent of Dick Van Dyke Show, Bewitched, things of that nature. You get to know the players in the game. You get to know who's there, who's who, the neighbors. They give you a nice little TV show recap to get everything going. This will be, and so that's the thoughts. Okay, so Inigo Montoya says, so I broke my right hand. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Spoiler, is Wonder Woman is just okay. Sorry, Inigo Montoya. Hope you're alright, man. Hope you're okay, buddy. Z Infinity says this will be interesting. As King Super says, I've been seeing outrage on making them 30 minutes. I don't understand that. Why is it a bad thing? I concur. I actually like the runtime being 30 minutes. Now, so they recap. Now, the first episode seems a little more familiar to Dick Van Dyke. Second one's a little more to Bewitched. The first episode has the classic hijinks where they're a married couple and they have to invite their boss over to Vision has to invite his boss over to dinner and they have to impress him. That's an old TV show trope. Second episode is they want to perform a magic show, but Vision gets a little gum in the works, and I do mean gum in the works because he accidentally swallows a piece of gum that mixes up his mechanics, and they have to get the magic show for the talent show done right using actual magic, but not making it seem like they're using actual magic so you don't alert any of the neighbors. Now, at the end of both episodes, we see little flourishes that something's not right. At the end of the first episode, Wanda really urges Vision to help his boss, who starts choking on something, and he uses his vision powers to get it out. And at the end of the episode, we back out, we pan out, and we see a hand watching. Someone, it appears to be someone from Sword watching, the group Sword, which is similar to S.H.I.E.L.D. In the comic books, this actually has to do with aliens, but here it seems they have to do with weapons. Apparently, in the MCU, if I'm not mistaken, Sword, the W in Sword actually stands for weapons, I think. Then the second episode, it ends with them going going from black and white into color, with Wanda seemingly pregnant after having to rewind certain incident, the ending of the episode. Because something doesn't work out for her nature. So it's strange because the first episode makes it seem as if somebody else is monitoring or controlling the situation. You don't see who it is, you just see a hand. And then the second one, we do see that Scarlet Witch has some sort of autonomy or control over this world. We don't know how much. We don't know if that hand is Wanda. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Anyway, like seeing Kitty Foreman. Kitty, from that 70s show, yeah. It's all up on. Well, yeah. At least you're left-handed, so that helps. It's good for you. Yeah, good for you. Feel better. See, everyone's cool. Hopefully, you get better than you go. Okay, so now with all that being said, overall, that's the recap. That's a very quick recap. But what are my actual thoughts on the show? I think it sucks. I think it's awful. Is it just me? Now, I know this is a classic way of doing things. We're going to give you a little bit of... And I know the natural defense that a lot of people are going to have for this is going to say something like, just wait to see where it's going. You don't know where it's going to go yet. I don't need to know where it goes to understand that I personally don't care for this formula. So, here's the rundown. We go through 30 minutes of a classic old television sitcom-y show type episode, okay? The businessman to dinner, the boss to dinner, and the magic show thing. They're, that's very cute and all that. But it's been so long since I've gotten MCU content. This is my first thought of it, and then I have to sit through 30 minutes of a old antiquated television show, which were style great from that time and awesome. They did a great job recreating it. The black and white doesn't look like they just put on a black and white filter. It really does look and feel like that old camera stuff. But then I have to do that to save for 30 seconds of actual plot. The story of him getting gum in his machinery, or the storyline of his boss coming over to dinner and all that, isn't worth sitting through to get to that little tiny nugget that's the actual plot. Those plots of each episode aren't important to the greater MCU reality. They're not moving the story forward. They're just there. Yeah, there are little Easter eggs sprinkled in. There are little tidbits where Wanda started acting a little unusual, or they don't remember their anniversary, or how they can. Yes, I understand that there are all these little nuggets of information, but combine all the things that have any actual prevalence in the MCU storyline, the MCU plot, the MCU universe, that are going to propel the story forward of what the fictional reality is. What do we got? Like 2 minutes? Max? Like, maximum. So it's like a Twilight Zone episode. Don't you get it? I understand that. It's not worth sitting an old tropey episode that I've seen before for 30 minutes just so Disney and the MCU can prove they can do it. Yeah, I figured you could. Good for you. And then just to get to the end for a little nugget of information. And yes, I'm sure as the season goes on, we're going to get more and more pieces of the plot, and more episodes are going to develop into it. But 2 straight episodes, your first 2 episodes, and an hour of it, 30 minutes each, like an hour of it, just about, if not an hour, I don't have the exact runtime, is dedicated to just recreating old TV show episodes. How is this good? It's like, oh, and so I said, I know the people are going to defend it by saying it's so smart because they just, no. If you just take an old episode of Gilligan's Island, redo it, and then just sprinkle in nuggets that something is unusual in this world, that doesn't make it smart writing, that doesn't make it a good episode, and it doesn't make it worth watching the entire thing for. I don't care. I can't sit through all... the next episode better start propelling the plot forward more. I do not want... Because now they're in color. It looks like they're going to do the Brady Bunch. I don't need to see an old remake of a Brady Bunch episode, like where... I think it was... I don't know, one of the Brady Bunch kids, Bobby, like what was his name, Billy the Kid, the cowboy or something like that, only found out that kid's bad. I don't need to sit through it. Hey, Ron Hawthorne, but let's take a time to see what you guys are saying. So, hey, Ron Hawthorne, how you doing? Z Infinity says, Subron. Okay, cool. No, Dave, you're right. WandaVision is terrible. Thank you, Inigo Montoya. Z Infinity says, I don't like when the plot takes a while for the viewer to know, in my opinion. Right. And Harry says, bet Agnes is the villain. Yeah, well, here's another part that I want to say, is that during the trailer, we saw... Oh, hold on, just got to plug things in. Another part of it that is that we saw from the trailer that at some point in time, now unless this is a huge misdirect, we saw at some point in time in the trailer that Wanda says to Vision, like, this is our world and we have to defend it. So I think it becomes clear that at some point in time she figures out that this is not reality. But it still matters to her because she's still with Vision, and she doesn't care if it's real, she's going to defend it anyway. It also appears that Agnes, it seems like she should be the villain, but I don't... From the trailer, from the tidbits we've seen for future episodes, it doesn't seem like she is. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. My point is, it's just... And if they did this in the first episode, if only the first episode was set up to be this ha-ha-ha, it's a sitcom thing, and then at the end we get the big reveal about where she is, what she's doing, and then the rest of the series, we know something. This is almost... I will almost say what I'm proposing is kind of like Hitchcock Theory, because Hitchcock thought... Like, this is just an example, but, okay, so let's say you have... two people at dinner table, and then all of a sudden a bomb blows up underneath their table. It's like startling, yes. But let's say instead you have two people sitting at a dinner table. Then the camera pans below the table to show you the bomb on their table, and then moves back up the conversation. Now the audience knows the entire time the bomb is there. It will go off, but the characters on screen don't know it. That makes the tension a little more rich, a little more interesting. So in a way, I would kind of like that for this, where we know what the reality is. We know why they're in this funky sitcom world. They don't know. And we have to watch the whole time rooting for them to figure it out. So it's kind of like suspense in that way, like a version of that kind of thinking. That's what I personally would have liked to have seen. Harry says, I was thinking they were going to do that 70s show in WandaVision. They may be. Who might ultimately be behind the whole thing? King, Doom, Mojo? See, I'm torn on this one. Because at first, the first episode at the end, when you see the person's hand watching from S.W.O.R.D., I thought that was Wanda. I thought it was Wanda recreating the life she always wanted with Vision and just watching it. But in this, and also in the second episode, it shows that she has control because she's able to rewind time and go backwards. So I'm not 100% convinced it isn't Wanda, but at the same hand, it shows that she doesn't really know what she doesn't seem like she's completely aware of what's going on. So maybe she has some control, and also the break from this is that she has reality controlling powers in the comic books. In the MCU, she's really had just telekinesis powers. Here, she is controlling reality and is way more magical, and I'm wondering if they're doing that as in her powers in this world that she's in is the way she can control things, or if she's developed new powers going forward. And we have seen hints towards the Mind Gem. I am curious to know where that's going. Last I chance, it was blowed up. Maybe it's not blowed up. Maybe they're using the Mind Stone to some effect again. Who knows? But who's behind this whole thing? As I said, I kind of thought it was Wanda. But when you keep hearing on the radio, like, Wanda, what have they done to you and all that, it doesn't sound like Wanda's doing it. So maybe it's somebody else. The question is, if it is S.W.O.R.D., maybe we can see, maybe it's Abigail. Maybe it is Agnes. The other telltale sign, or the weird part, is if Scarlet Witch is in control of it, she probably would bring back her brother too, right? Quicksilver. So it does seem weird that she didn't bring him back if she is in control. And furthermore, whoever was in control or is in control, sure, they brought back Vision because they know that, but why wouldn't they bring back Quicksilver too? Interesting, right? Maybe there's a reason why only why only Vision is there. I have a feeling they could do a Full House type episode. Yeah, I think so too. The one where she's got the big hair, it seems like that. But yeah, look. King Super says, I think it seem like it's building. I have a heart for these types of shows, so I liked, however, if they keep doing this for me, be again boring on Unravel on episode 3. To me, 2 episodes already has gotten boring. 1 episode would have been fine. But yeah, but King Super, that's exactly what I said. People are going to start defending, saying, hey, no, look, it takes time. I don't mind if something takes a story. I do have my issues with how long and drawn out everything is for episodic television, because everything's going to be binge worthy. We got to make sure you watch everything. I miss episodic shows, which was more of the case from like when I was a kid. It's like A-Team. You didn't need to see every episode of A-Team to understand what was going on. You saw one episode, okay, fine. You didn't feel lost if you missed everything. But that's neither here nor there. This is the MCU. I'm okay with it. I don't mind it, but I think it's done a little too much. But my issue with it is that, as I said earlier, it's one thing if the main plot had anything to do with the story, but it doesn't. The entire 30 minutes that we sit through of watching them try to put on the magic show or watching them try to put the dinner on for their boss is completely irrelevant to anything in the MCU. Now, I know there's probably a portion of people out there thinking, you're going to eat your words, because I bet you it's going to be a deep cut and it's going to tie it all in, that somehow, in some subtle way, shape, or form, parts of the magic show or the dinner or the boss or whoever like that are going to come into play later on. Maybe they will, maybe they don't. I won't count. If it turns out that the boss and his wife and turns out some of the neighbors who are watching the talent show, if who they really are tie into something else later on, or we find out who their characters are in the MCU, and they're stuck here with Wanda too. Maybe they're real, maybe they're NPCs, who knows? But if they turn out to be real people, it's like, oh, look at that! See, and you thought it was pointless. I'm still right, it's still pointless. Even if those characters mean something, the plot of trying to put on a dinner and trying to put on a magic show is irrelevant. It is not. If somehow those two very specific things have to do with the MCU, I'll be stunned, and I will okay. They had to put on the magic show. Turns out that magic show was actually to bring back the Infinity Gauntlet. Or something. I don't know. If it turns out to be that, I'll be very surprised. More than likely, those are throwaways, and it's 30 minutes that I don't need to sit there watching it. Let's go back in the chat, seeing what everyone said. Harry Flynn says, I would have liked it if part of the Mind Stone on Wakanda, on Wanda's wedding ring. Interesting, but remember, reduced to atoms. Will this time to Young Avengers? Perhaps. The other downside for me is that this is the first MCU TV show kickoff extravaganza. It's going to take a lot more for me to get on board, and we're also, so, to me this is not the first kind of, this is not the way to hit the ground running for me personally. King Super says, I completely forgot that Quicksilver was a character in MCU. You see, that's what I mean! So apparently whoever gave Wanda her perfect ideal life forgot that too. Ron, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a reason, because of Vision's android, being an android and all that, if that's the reason why he's able to be brought back, but Quicksilver's not. I wouldn't be surprised if that turns out to be the case. It does be interesting. What is with the guy in the beekeeper suit? Who knows? I can't believe WandaVision made me ask that. It's just, but that's what it's a lot of trickery of modern television. You'd have one episode and most of it has nothing to do with anything, but you sprinkle in little weird. It's like the show Lost. You sprinkle in something unusual. Why is there a polar bear here? We won't answer you for 3 seasons. Ooh. So good. It's like, no, it didn't make it better because you made me wait 3 years to answer it. It's like the funny thing is I really liked half of Lost. The first half of Lost I really, really liked. This is the first MCU story since Far From Home. Yeah, and it's like I've been starved for MCU content. And this is the first real MCU, not Netflix television stuff. And here we are. I'm more looking forward to the Winter Soldier and Falcon show. Yeah, I am too, but unfortunately with this go around, I'm worried. And Loki doesn't look great. Like WandaVision, I didn't get it from the very beginning trailers. When they showed it, I'm like, what is this? I don't get it. And it's like, it's going to be in a show. Okay, I'm game. I'll watch it. And then I watch it, and I'm like, okay. And like I said, now I think I understand what the show's all about. I could be wrong, but I think I understand what this whole ordeal is, and I don't like it. I'm not in. Hey there, True Sinister. So yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried about the way this is going. This is allegedly going to tie into the Doctor Strange sequel and possibly Spider-Man. Stuff. So maybe there's multiverse though, but I didn't know you could watch TV on the multiverse or just watch other channels in the multiverse. Why didn't you tell me that Wanda is? Elizabeth Olsen is extremely attractive. She is a very pretty woman. I will say that much. That is true. I do agree with that, Juice. She is very pretty. Um, I think Wanda and Vision are trapped in TV-like world. Yeah, it seems like that. But again, like I said earlier, though, she clearly has some control over it. She can rewind things, or she can that weird when she said Vision help him. Like she has some control here. Maybe she's not supposed to. Maybe Sword decided that when she almost took down Thanos. Remember that at Endgame, she almost took down Thanos. It wasn't until rain fire, and that was the only thing that stopped her from taking Thanos out by herself. Maybe they said that she's really dangerous, and her psyche is getting fractured from Vision and Quicksilver and all that. So let's pacify her by putting her in an idyllic sitcom world to pacify her because she's probably too dangerous to be kept around. Maybe that's what it's going to be about. I don't know. Is she really Wanda? I think so. Might not be. Seems like a completely different character with the American accent. That's true, but she has slowly been dropping the accent. But that's a good point. She doesn't have the accent. She dropped it faster than Kofi Kingston. She has been slowly. Sorry, had to. She doesn't have the accent. I did notice that too. That's a very good point. This also seems interesting too because they've also really brought back her Sokovian heritage, which they mentioned it a fair amount, which they don't really talk about. But yeah, I mean, and look, if you like it, cool. If this is your jam, fine. But I don't. It's just not for me. Again, I'm gonna keep watching it. I don't think I'll bail. It's only 9 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, so it's worth sitting through. But I don't know. I don't know. My friend asked if the voice on the radio was Rhodey. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell who the voice was because part of me thought it sounded like Cap, but I'm like, it can't be Cap. I think they should have put all the episodes out at once. Whether they do or not doesn't matter to me. I'm not touchy or particular about that. I know some people who can't stand not having the whole thing out at once, and other people who prefer it weekly. I don't care one way or the other. Like Cobra Kai, watch the whole thing in one day, and it's like, oh crap! Now I gotta wait another year before I get to see more Cobra Kai. But then The Boys, I was like, yeah, next episode of The Boys. It's Thursday at midnight. Where's The Boys, Amazon? So that was kind of cool. So it doesn't matter to me. I think it was Randall Park's character. Oh, Jimmy Woo. Jimmy Woo would have been an awesome character that I personally would have loved the chance to play if he was done more like Jimmy Woo in the comic. But that's just me. Yesterday. By the way, just started Mandalorian yesterday. Kalisto did an interview with Wanda, and Vision Paul Bentley did the Lucha chant. That sounds bonkers. No, don't give WandaVision any more terrible ideas, Dave. The guy in the beekeeper suit emerging from the sewer is bad enough. And some people think he might be a member of AIM because he's the AIM people, but he actually has bees with him, so who knows? Prefer weekly because it's more suspenseful. I don't mind. As I said, personally, I don't mind it either way. If you give me something to look forward to once a week, kind of drag it out, give me time to absorb things, that's cool. Or if you just give it to me all at once, if it's good, I'll sit through it. But same thing with Cobra Kai. I don't like it when it's an hour-long episode. Even if the runtime equals about the same, but let's put it this way. I feel enormous amounts of pressure whenever something comes out all at once. So it's like, hey, every episode of blah, blah, blah is going to come out one shot. Everyone's going to talk about it, and it's like I have to make a video about this like right now and then because, well, I would like to pace myself. Even if it is something where I will watch it the whole one day, I would at least like to space out like an episode here, an episode there throughout the day or whatever, if I have the time. But because of YouTube and just strike while the iron's hot, there are people who, as soon as it comes out, they'll just watch all of it, and they'll take notes as they watch it and then make a video out of it right away. And I can't roll like that. Like, I want to enjoy the show. I don't want to sit there and study it as I'm watching it. I've done that in the past for the wrestling channel, but for me here, it's like, you know, comic book movies and shows, or a television show, I much rather just sit back, alone, watch, pay attention, absorb, and stuff like that. A wrestling match is a little different. I can do that on the fly, but I'd much rather have it just take my time with it and actually have fun with it. A beekeeper should aim his way out of stuff. Well, the other part about it is I can't imagine that it is an AIM guy. I mean, maybe it is, but remember, AIM has already been introduced because of Iron Man 3. We know what AIM is. Movies are fake, right? No, I didn't know that, Jackie Claymore. I didn't know that. Oh, I forgot. King Super, we do not feed the trolls here. We do not feed the trolls. I forgot I gotta do all the work myself. Guys, don't acknowledge him. That's what they want. Easy. Relax. So, yeah, I don't really think... I don't really enjoy this show so far. As I said, if they narrowed it down to one episode where you get the gag, okay, and then reveal it, and then we have the whole rest of the series to wait to see Wanda figure it out, then maybe it'd be more interesting, more suspenseful. But instead, or get me invested a little more. And this is just from my point of view, but 2 episodes where it's just straight recreation of old sitcom plots, and just to give you little nuggets of information towards the end, True Sister says you like it, and that's cool. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, maybe for what you think are the wrong reasons. All right, I'm game, True Sinister. What are the reasons you like it? I'm game. Let's see where this is gonna go. I might regret asking this, but let's see how this let's see how this works out. Thoroughly minded to regretting this within a couple minutes. But yeah, as I say all the time, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. If you like something, you like it, that's cool. To each their own is all I'm going to say. Everyone can like something for whatever reasons they so choose. Just like for me, I don't like this, but that doesn't mean you don't. But just because you like something doesn't mean I have to as well. It's just our point of view. True Sister says Vision's oblivious British android, unintentionally hilarity. Okay, Wanda. Okay. Well, see, there you go. Look, if you enjoy the sitcom portion of it for the sitcom part of it, and you actually like it as a sitcom, okay, that's cool. It's nothing, for me, it doesn't get me because I don't think it ties into anything. But also because I've seen this before. I've seen kind of stuff like that. And it's, again, I think it's cool that they did it, but I don't need to see Marvel just showing off that we can recreate old sitcoms too. That's how good we are. I know you can make good content. You don't need to remind me. You don't need to master every domain. You can let some go. You don't need to prove to me that any genre you're willing to tackle and you're going to be able to handle well. Kind of got bored in episode 2. Yeah. Because it sounds like an old show. Yeah, it does. And look, hey, if you can appreciate their ability to recreate an old show, which I will say is harder than a lot of people think it is, because some people think, oh, you just slap a black and white filter on, you're done. No, there's a look and a feel to it. It really does. The first episode particularly, the color scheme, the brightness, the contrast, everything works. It really does look like just a cleaned up version of an old show. They did a great job with that. About that colorful Vision costume was spot on. Can't wait to see it. I always hated Vision's actual costume. I always thought it looked stupid. I thought they gussied it up in the MCU. The green and red, I was like, wow, they're really going to go with this. They're not going to go with the all-white costume that he used to have, because that you could justify. Oh, the green and red, they made it dark green and green-gray and maroon. It's like, yeah, that's a nice attempt, but yeah. Did you see that mysterious, creepy-looking man in black in the clip? I think so. Another thing here, with Vision. I think it's weird that everyone just has assumed his name is Vision, or gone there, because, he was known as Jarvis. You think at some point in time he might bring that up. Hey, you don't have to call me Vision. I was called Jarvis forever, right? I've been kind of used to that. No, he's just Vision. And no one thinks this is weird. Not even the sitcom people. I just mean in general. Everyone's just okay with calling him Vision. I feel like she's trying to be like Bewitched. Yeah, no, she is. She is. Yeah, that's definitely a very, very, very on the nose reference to Bewitched. Green and red is it. He looks ridiculous. It's just such. It's. I feel the same way about. Oh man, I can't believe I can't remember that character's name off the top of my head. Amazo, the android. He's just a pink and green elf, and he's supposed to be this robot. It's like, what? Why? Could be Hawkeye and the Raven. Could be. Yeah, that's actually not bad, because they do have a history together. He's not human, he's Vision, and not Jarvis. I just think it's weird. Wanda Jarvis, yeah. I'm just saying, he was Jarvis forever. And now it's just like, oh, Ultron randomly said Vision. Hey, everyone, that's my name now. Just... I wonder if Simon Williams will ever be introduced. Could Wonder Man work in the MCU? I think he can. They did make a reference to him, if I'm not mistaken, in some movie where it said starring Simon Williams. I think in the background. I forget. I think it was an MCU movie. If I could be wrong. And I want to say Nathan Fillion was on the poster or something like that. I don't know why I'm thinking that all of a sudden, but yeah, it was also one of my when I went to color. Yeah, see, but. That's the thing. So I don't think it's the wrong reason. It just doesn't. It's just not for me. It's that, hey, look, reference. I don't think it doesn't blow me away from stellar writing, visually and from a production value. Yeah, there's a certain aesthetic to it that is commendable that they were able to reproduce. That does take a lot of talent, a lot of skill. But also, here's the other part of it. When people talk about Disney animation and talk about how good it is, I'm not denying that it isn't good. But when you have the resources and money that Disney does, I go, well, it should be. Like, if Disney made a CGI cartoon and looked terrible, it's like, well, you're Disney. You're like, how did you fail this? My standards are higher because they have Disney money. So, yeah, it's cool that they were able to recreate these things, and then the episodes I've done on the other YouTube channel where I try to recreate a specific look and all that from old timey times, I take pain. It's harder than most people think, and I do appreciate it, and I don't do it as good as Disney does. But at the same hand, I don't have the research they do. No, I don't have the resources they do. So, yeah, people 32. Well, it's not going to get better. I would rather remember Quicksilver in the Fox. I like the Fox X-Men Quicksilver better as a character, but look-wise, I think he looks ridiculous. He has that long, like, grandma hair and the silver jacket. I get it, Quicksilver, yeah, but it's like... I just thought he looked terrible. I just the look I didn't care for. I wish we had the MCU look, but with the character of the Fox X-Men. I like how she was Mommy Vision when she took the gum out of the stop from the being. Okay, because stuff they call him being drunk. Yeah, robot drunk. That's gum for you. Yeah, no, it's cool. So it seems like it seems like you really dug on the sitcom parts of it. You really gravitated towards that, or you liked. I think it seemed like there's a bit of a nostalgia kick that it was kicking off for you, and that's cool. Ren said it was too muscular. I mean, yeah, he was, Kick-Ass was a little bigger than Quicksilver normally is, but it's fine. He's a superhero. He's allowed to be more bulky. Yeah, I get you. Quicksilver is typically more of a lean guy, but whatever. It's certain aesthetics like grandma hair bother me, but somebody being too built to being a superhero, I'm like, yeah, I'll let that one go. Light Cold War reference. I think U.S. Agent will play a major role in the Winter Soldier and Falcon coming soon. I think so too. But yeah. So, okie dokie. Anything else that we want to talk about before we wrap up this review of WandaVision episodes 1 and 2? Everyone's birthday is Tuesday. Well, hey, happy birthday to your mom. Early happy birthday to your mom. Are the twins Magneto's children again in the comics? I'm sure that the retcon stands now that the merger happened. I think they have yet to officially reconfirm it. Maybe they won't, but they have kept it a little vague with that. But I do hope they eventually bring it back to say that the twins are Magneto's children. I prefer that to be the case. Oh, true Sinister. I'm just retorting to what your friend said. By the way, I heard some rumors that U.S. Agent will be played by John Cena. I don't think that's true, because I'm pretty sure that's not who's playing him. And with John Cena being in the DCEU, I also find that less likely. But I can't confirm or deny it directly myself, so maybe. Falcon and Winter Soldier should have come out first. There could be storyline reasons why. As stated, I believe that Scarlet Witch is supposed to play a major role in the Doctor Strange film, so there could be a reason why they want to get that out the way first, because maybe this is going to set up for that movie whenever it comes out. Also chronologically, maybe there's the events of this show tie into Falcon and Winter Soldier, so maybe there's another reason for that. That I'll wait for. That I'll reserve judgment on. Yeah, I'm more invested in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, but there you go. This is really dragging their feet with feet teaspoon feeding us. Yeah, they is. Yeah, they is. Okay. Alright, guys. Well, that's gonna could do it for me. I'm gonna wrap up for now. Thank you for being here and joining me on this tale of WandaVision. And as always, Dave knows.